Angel Holmes is constantly crafting vibing communities with social media and her brands, Serendipity and Like-Minded Charleston. I talk one-on-one with the entrepreneur for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Angel Holmes, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups.
So glad to be here. So glad.
Oh, I appreciate it greatly. Of course, we know that you are a well-known founder, event expert around here in the Low Country. We know your dad, of course.
Yes, yes. A lot of people, because I got remarried, they're like, "Who?" What? My last name throws people off, but yes. So people know me as Passailaigue. People know me as Pastel. People know me as Holmes now. So I'll take whatever I get. It's really just Angel. Let's just go Angel. How about that?
There you go. I like that. And of course, we know that you are the founder of Serendipity and of course the event expert. And now you are the founder of Like-Minded Charleston. And of course, you are constantly crafting vibrant communities, social media brands with that particular company, and you have a company. So what's new? What's now with Angel Homes?
Well, like you said, the most exciting thing is Like-Minded Charleston. I was just feeling the need myself personally, being an entrepreneur, working from home, feeling isolated, feeling alone, that I needed community to do this with. And definitely there's some wonderful networking groups in town, and I've been to several of them, but they were just providing different things that I was personally looking for more of a friendship base, one that I could really like cry, honestly, like cry to and get through the struggles. And I had joined a national group earlier this year and fell in love with them. And the person who started those does in-person events in California that are just that. They're friendship first, business second. They do really cool events. And so I went to her and said, "Hey, I'd love to bring this to the East Coast and do it here, offer it for Charlestonians and anybody else who's visiting." And so it took a little bit of convincing, but she allowed me to be the first offset of Like-Minded. So there's a Like-Minded collective nationally, and then we're Like-Minded Charleston. So I'm so honored and proud of what we've created, and it's been amazing. So we started in June, and it has really just taken off.
What is the biggest difference about Like-Minded Charleston from June to right now?
Well, really just like energy and support, and I was fortunate just starting the Charleston Wine and Food Festival. I knew a lot of people in town. So I started I started reaching out to people about events, because we do events every single week, which is a little different from most groups. They were like, "Yes, yes, Angel, of course, we know you. We know what you're going to, you can produce and do good things." So the support was great, but of course there was a lot of people who didn't know me, there was a lot of new people in Charleston, a lot of business owners. So honestly, a lot of the members we have, I had never met before, but now they're some of my closest friends. Like, it's so cool. So yeah, we've just grown as far as our member base support, our events, just keep getting better. And, I just, the more and more people are coming and finding us, which is really exciting. Our Instagram account, is like up to 700 people, which is really incredible. Just full of people, because I try to connect with everybody on there and welcome them and hopefully get them engaged in the community.
Speaking of the community, how do you actually, make sure that the friendships come first and business comes second? What are the results from that being in the community?
Yeah, so we of course do business related events, and we have great educational events and networking, but the spin is always on, let's make this fun and connecting on a deeper level than just talking about business. I really don't love name tags. We use them sometimes, but I prefer not. Our name tags are kind of fun. They ask like fun questions, but just something more light and casual. For example, we have something called Empower Hours, which are happy hours. We've done one where we played pickleball. We're going and doing a charity dog walk this week. And we did a beach walk. So they're just ones that are more like just light and casual. And of course you're talking about your business and what you've got going on, but we also encourage you to share who you are, what where you came from, what you love to do, your passions, your goals. And that's just a deeper level, friendship and connection. And I really and truly think the girls are becoming like really great friends, which is really, really important. We also do an event called Restore and Recharge just for our members. Every month is a health and wellness wellness event where we are just taking care of our mind, bodies, and souls. So we do really great events just to, get out of the business mode and get out of the, we taking care of ourselves because women, honestly, entrepreneurs, we help everybody else and do all the things, but we forget to take care of ourselves. And if we don't do that, then everything else suffers. So that's a really great event that I think members really enjoy.
So how do you take care of yourself being an entrepreneur, a mom, and now taking on these other initiatives?
Well, two ways for me really is my faith is super important. I wake up every day and just pray to God that He makes it a beautiful day and I'm doing His work, whatever that is. I feel like that frees me from all the stress, honestly, of just the pressure and trying to keep up with things. I'm like, I'm just doing what He's given me. My talents are from Him. I want to do what He wants me to do. I also definitely work out. I do hot yoga, the works, love the works. And that's just a great release. It's not only a great workout, but you are literally just take, you get out of your head. You're not thinking about anything for 45 minutes to an hour, except for, okay, my legs are on fire. But like you're just mentally taking care of yourself as well. And the instructors there do such a great job of uplifting and encouraging, and they've created such a great community. So I think those two things, and of course, just a balance. Like I have a really important schedule. My kids and my husband and my church activities, all, those things come first. And then the other things come second. And I guess I'm just blessed with being able to get a lot done a very short amount of time. So
Yeah, and I know obviously you mentioned earlier that you want, you're hoping that you're doing God's work with this. So let me ask you this, then. What is your passion and goals for Like-Minded Charleston?
really, I want to grow it just to be a very, just a very not inclusive community that involves everybody who wants to be a part of it. So if they need a home that they can feel comfortable with, and you have to be a female founder, that's the only requirement. We have people who've just started their business to people like myself who've been doing it 29, 30 years. So there's such a range. So anyone's included. I just want people to really find this to be their place that is there for them, that can help them through their life. But also, like, I'm in it for the long term. Like, this is something that I want to build and keep building. I feel like there are a lot of groups that might start and they have excitement and they might not know how to do all the other pieces and parts. Well, I've been blessed with doing all the pieces and parts. So I'm just, want to be consistent with that and give people a place they know they can come to every single week if they want to. So yeah, just growing it to, we'll see what happens with it. I'm obviously giving it up to God and whatever He wants to bring, but we're welcoming and would love to have people a part of it. So
What resources do you have to keep building this 5, 10 years from now?
well, the founder in Claudia, she's in California. She's amazing. She's really been incredible to me. We brainstorm ideas all the time because she's obviously built a community. She's a community builder. But I think me just being from Charleston, knowing the nuances, knowing the ins and outs, I'm already planned out like half of my year next year with events. Just because there's so many cool things to do, and there's so many new people coming into town that have incredible backgrounds, incredible resources. And so if I can get tapped into them and do that, we do want to do a retreat next year that will bring people in from all over the country to experience Charleston, to experience our community, our like-minded community. So that'll be really fun. And I also think just knowing the chefs and the beverage world out there, I've already started reaching out to people and saying, hey, if you want to come to Charleston and do something fun with us, I am all ears, would love to do it. We're doing an event next month with a national cookbook author as well. So it's
Oh,
been, I want to do stuff with Charleston Wine and Food Festival, like bringing it all home and just continuing to build that. We also have ambassadors. So that has been really key. There are people who are dedicating their time to be with me, to be eyes and ears of mine as well. And we meet every month with ideas and just keeping that core together to kind of an advisory group to really help me, like what do they want? What do they need? What do they hear people talking about? Because not everyone feels comfortable maybe sharing with me. So that's a really, I think, an important thing to really have buy-in with that part of it.
you mentioned something very important, but what exactly is trending from a female entrepreneur and a business owner perspective?
A lot of things right now are around mindset, I would say, just like feeling confident. You hear it over and over now, imposter syndrome. So many women they get this calling and they have something they're wanting to do and they're passionate about it, but then their mind takes it over and just knocks them down, right? They want the mind is there to protect you, so you want to listen. If it's telling you don't do this, it's not safe, it's not comfortable, and so a lot of women really struggle with that, the confidence that they have the ability to do it or they can learn the skills to do it. And so that's been when we actually just did a really great imposter syndrome workshop with an expert that was really, really meaningful, like impactful. Everybody there walked away like, wow, I learned a lot and I know the tools and the things to say when my mind says, don't do this. No, I'm going to do this. I might be the first doing it. I might look crazy doing it, but I can do it. So I feel like that's a really big one. I think always, ways to grow and connect with more people. It's such a cluttered world. Social media is extremely, noisy. So how can they stand out? What is the things they can do that really will matter and reach their audience and help serve their audience? So I think those are two of our biggest opportunities and things that we really hone in on a lot with our programming.
And speaking of which, Miss Angel, what are those entertaining, trending, and creative products that are actually helping local female entrepreneurs stand out here?
That's a good one. I think it's at the end of the day, a lot of things are about relationships. So building relationships, maintaining relationships, and being there for others. I do think, like, let's say, I mean, social media is obviously a big one, and a lot of people are now leaning towards, a lot of business people are learning towards LinkedIn, and
Oh,
LinkedIn
yeah.
is a relationship building platform, right? But there's also TikTok, and so you have all these places, but at the end of the day, it's about being present and connecting and being a two-way conversation and helpfulness with your audience. And so many people just post and then they leave, or they just share and they go away and they don't think there's whatever. But it's really about a sisterhood and like hyping each other up and sharing each other's stuff and promoting each other's events. And if more and more of us can do that, like that really moves the needle. Our first event we had Andrea Serrano and
Oh,
Juju
yes.
Taylor and Shaniqua. Those girls were our hype girls. Like I didn't. I mean, I really think God put them on our this event because he was like, these are the girls you need on your side. And they text me, reach out to me all the time. How can I help you? What can I do? And that has made such a difference. Like their support, their resharing of the like-minded community, I know has built us a really strong foundation and following that is priceless. So doing things like that for each other, I think is really important. I also think email marketing and even just regular market, mailing to people or things that are neglected. And I know they get lost in the shuffle, but I do think if you have a really good email that communicates a great service base, just you're just pouring into people. You're not asking for
Right.
sales. You're not wanting things. You're just
Right.
like, here is how I want to help you. Here's my favorite. If you're doing those types of email marketing or you're sharing your stories and it's going to help somebody else, that's really impactful and it's something you own. It's not owned by another company. So I always tell people, get a good email list, consistently communicate with your community, and find ways just to help and support each other.
This is a silly question too, but growing up here in Charleston, we saw a lot of, we do still see a lot of female entrepreneurs around. But before social media, where was that support for them?
There are a lot of still like good, I think, groups. I don't know if they were female specific based. That's been more of a newer trend because there are more female entrepreneurs, honestly. I know after COVID, a lot of people left their, corporate jobs and said, I want to do this for a living. I had been doing it for a living forever. So I know the nuances, but yeah, I don't know where people were going to, probably just traditional um networking. And it goes back to, again, community. Like a community can be your neighborhood, it could be your street, it could be your small group. There's so many places to find that base. And I know it gets I know the biggest challenge for anybody with an event, a group like-minded, is, am I going to fit in? I'm nervous. I don't know, I know the first encounter is always the hardest. And believe me, I have to talk myself into going to events sometimes, even though I love being social.
Right.
It's still that nerve wracking. Am I going to fit in? Am I going to do? But I tell people, just go. If you're, if this is something like that I'm speaking about that you're inclined to, just come and check it out. There's no judgment. No, we are loving, accepting, and wanting to, just bring women together to do life together. So even if it's not our group, go just try those things because you'll find your people and you will, you need that base. You need that support. You cannot do it alone. You cannot, if you isolate yourself and do entrepreneur business alone, you will, it'll be a struggle to be successful for sure.
Um, so, who is your base when it comes to like-minded trolls?
I mean, really, it's just women all ages who have their own businesses and really need that. They now, if I tell people if they just want to come and give out their business cards and promote their business, this is probably not the group for you because it's not that intense like
Right.
networking type of group. We definitely get to know each other. We share our businesses, all of those things, but it's not that in your face. Also, you have to own your own business, and there are a lot of people who are independent contractors
Yeah.
that don't necessarily own their business, and
Right.
that's also been a hard one. But I have a list of other great groups in town. So if I tell people if this is not your place, I've got a list of other wonderful groups, and there are so many wonderful groups, mom specific groups, and co-ed groups, and all kinds of places for you to go and get that base if it's not here. So, but it's just women who are looking for more that just that community vibe, that doing life and business together vibe. They ego is checked at the door and they
Yes.
come as they are. That is really what we're looking for.
Oh, absolutely. And I want to ask you this too. So, in this particular group, like-minded Charleston, Miss Angel, how many of those people are Charleston-based founders versus visiting founders?
So all the local members are local. We do have a few that are in Beaufort, which I
Okay.
felt was fine. They come in town if they're going to come in town. If you are part of the like-minded collective community, which anyone can join for free. So if you're watching this and you are like, I want to join a national group with female entrepreneurs, it is free. We tag it in our website. If they come in town, we of course welcome them. And if any entrepreneur honestly comes in town, our events are you can join as a member and come, or you can get a ticket. So you don't have to join as a member. And if you're just in town visiting, we'll be happy to have you. We love having you. I just actually had a girl from Greenville reach out who's moving here next year. And she's like, hey, can I come to some events this year if I'm in town? I said, absolutely. We'd love to have you. We are not, we're not turning away people just based on their location, but all of our members are local.
Yes, that's good to hear. Speaking of location, yeah, obviously you've been born and raised here. I was born and raised here on the east side of Charleston and beyond, and seeing the growth here in Charleston over the past couple of years. So, with your particular group, how do you hope to grow that group with all of these new people coming into Charleston?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to get out to as many newcomer groups and women, especially Facebook has a lot of great groups, and let them know about this because they do. It is so hard. I've heard it over and over to make friends in Charleston and to
Uh,
feel connected. And being a local, I love to embrace new people. Of course, I don't love the traffic, and there's some things that are not ideal, but I love diversity and new people and new energy as long as it's done, like if the roads are taken, infrastructure needs to be in place, schools need to be in place. But so the other thing with our group is we meet all over town. We will have events. We're planning an event in Somerville. We do Mount Pleasant, Charleston. I want to do Johns Island. So we want to come to all the places around because we know that sometimes I was just in North Mount Pleasant. We moved to Park
yes.
Circle.
Oh, yes.
North Mount Pleasant is, so far away that
Yeah.
it's hard to get people to leave Mount Pleasant. So of course we hear that and we'll do events all over when we can just to give them an opportunity to not have to leave that far to drive in traffic to come to something. But I think that makes us a little different too, as we're not we some of our events are at the same location, but because we do them every week, we are trying to move them all around town and give people an opportunity to come where, if they're based somewhere specifically and they can't get over to another place. And a lot of people have kids,
Oh,
and
yes.
so we are trying to do things where you can bring your kid, or you can have daycare options. We do events for animal. We have a dog walk this week, and we will do an event with you can bring your spouses to over the holidays because we want to celebrate our husbands. That is such a big part of my success is the support I have from my husband. He champions and supports everything I do. He's an unofficial like-minded member so many ways. So we don't discriminate against men, but of course
Sure.
this is our place just to feel comfortable because we just deal with different things and want to share that openly without, the noise out there.
Absolutely. And one last time, Miss Angel, how can we get connected with your collective?
Yeah, so our website is like-mindedcharleston.com. likemindedchs.com. I think it's Charleston. Sorry. And if you go on Instagram or Like Minded CHS, we do have a Facebook group for our members, but those two ways are the best way. And if you go on our website, there is an email sign up, and I tell everybody get on the email list. Every week we send you an email with what's coming this week and also what's to come so they can plan. On our site also is our schedule for the current month and next month. And all of our events take place the same day and time for the most part. So you can mark your calendars, get it set up where you know it's there and you plan on coming. So, but yeah, we'd love to have people. They can always reach out to me. My business, Sipendipity, I link it in there as well. My Instagram, Sipendipity 2024, or my regular Instagram, Angel P. Holmes. All the places. All the places.
Oh, absolutely. You're everywhere. I love that. Well, Angel Holmes with Serendipity and, of course, Like-Minded Charleston. Thank you for your time. And again, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you. So glad to be here, Quentin. I appreciate your support.
Oh, you're very welcome.